Today we're going to make some landscape artwork. The things that you'll need are one piece of tag board. You're going to need a scissor. You're going to need a long strip of tag board. And you're also going to need a pencil. I'm going to use a Sharpie so it's a little bit easier for you to see. Our landscape is going to go the long way, horizontally. The first thing we need to do is make a horizon line. So in order to make our horizon line, we're actually going to use our long strip of paper, but we don't want it to be straight across. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my long strip of paper and I'm going to draw a couple of curves down one side, just gentle curves that are close to the edge, that don't wiggle too much. I don't want them to go like this. They're just kind of gentle. And I'm going to cut along my curve. You can go ahead and do this along with me. After I get this cut out, I'm going to just set my scrap aside. That can go in the garbage. This first line is going to be our horizon line. So we're going to take that and put it a little bit higher than halfway on our paper. And I'm going to trace that curvy line right on my tag board. And that gives us a nice horizon line. We need to have some lumps and bumps to make hills for our ground. So what I'm going to do is take my piece of paper again, and this time, to make it a little bit different, I'm going to flip it over to the other side, so it's not exactly the same, and I'm going to turn it so that it goes from one side all the way down to the bottom. For my first hill, I'm going to trace along this curved line, going a little bit diagonally. You can go ahead and do this. And then for my second hill, I'm going to kind of do that on the other side. I can flip it if I want to. And I'm going to go diagonally again, starting at the side of the paper. Oops. But I'm not going to go all the way down to the bottom. When I get to my other line, I'm going to stop. It looks like I need to fill that in just a little bit. So now I have 1, 2, 3 hills. I might put one more in there. Let's see. Maybe this one will curve, but not as much. You can flip it any way you want. All right, so now I've got my ground finished. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. You need at least 4 sections of ground. You can do up to 6. I wouldn't do more than 6, otherwise it'll get tricky to paint. At this point, we're going to take a quick pause of the video. So I'll have you pause the video and let all the students get caught up. And then when they're caught up, you can start it again. Okay, now that we're ready to go, we're going to do the sky, and we're also going to put a sun in our picture. When we put a sun in our picture, we want to have something round to trace. I'll make sure that I have round things for you to trace. At school, I'm looking around my kitchen right now trying to find something round. What should I trace? I've got, oh, that's too big. This cap, that's too small. Let's see, I've got something over here. I've got a little glass, or a little bowl. This will work. So I'm going to trace that, and I'm not going to put it up in the corner, no corner suns. I'm going to either put it off to the side or in the middle, but I want it to be just coming over the horizon line. I think I'm going to have mine over to the left. So when I trace this, I'm just going to trace the top. So I get a nice round circle, and we're not going to trace down here, so our sun is coming up from the horizon line. All right, make sure I didn't get any marker on my bowl. Oh good, I didn't. Now we're going to put some layers in the sky. We want to have our sunset to have some layers too. We don't want them to be exactly like the ground layers though, so this time I'm going to take my scissor, and I might draw this out first. I'm going to make my sky just a little bit different than my ground. I'm going to cut along now. I've got a new line to trace. If you want to pause it to let everybody get caught up, you can do that. When you're ready to go, we're going to take our new line that we've drawn and make some layers in the sky. I think I'm going to start at the top this time. I'm going to go a little bit crooked like I did before. This time I'm going to trace along my new line. And I'll go on the other side. I got to be careful that when I trace, I don't go over my sun. If you accidentally go over your sun, it's okay. Since you're using a pencil, you can erase. And maybe I'll do one more layer here. Okay, now we have our landscape set up. We have the horizon line, everything below that is going to be ground, and everything above that is going to be sky. After you get this set up, you're going to set this aside, and we're going to start with our brand new worksheet, landscape art. We're going to talk about the things on the front of the paper, and if we get time today, we're even going to look at an artwork and answer some questions on that.